We take a look at Jaden Broderick, part of our APP Next Gen national team. Some of those players competed in the Atlantic Cup that we just saw. Jaden, 18, out of Greenville, South Carolina.
He's going to be playing with Brandon Lane here in our men's pro doubles semifinal number 2. There's Brandon. Calls Melbourne Beach, Florida home, but originally from Camalote, Belize. Entire family is on his mom's side from down in Belize, and they're already gearing up for a big championship Sunday because Brandon's going to be playing tomorrow in mixed doubles. Wants to make it 2 matches, but on the other side of the net, it's Casey Cullen leading the way, 35 years old, out of Royal Oak, Michigan, partnered up with Will Sobek, trying to punch their ticket to championship Sunday. Will, 20 years old, out of Key West, Florida. 19 years old, out of Key West, Florida. So really interesting set of pairings here in our men's semifinal number 2, you guys.
Well, Casey Cullen's been around the game a long time. He's been in pickleball for years now, kind of back and forth where he plays a lot then doesn't. But Casey, very fiery. He's going to get excited, and that's when he's at his best, too, is when he's fired up and in the match.
Bit of a feeling out process here in this first serve. Sobek, the first one to pull the trigger and pushes it deep.
Yeah, good job by Broderick right there of swinging and missing, letting that one go deep.
A good job of swinging and missing.
It was a planned swing and miss, obviously.
If I'm Sobek and Cullen on the other side, I'm like, where do I drop a ball on these two?
I mean, you've got 6'7" and 6'6". You know, let's
right.
Broderick's 18, and every time I see him, he's grown another inch. Nice attack there from Lane, going hard into the body of Sobek.
Gives them the first point here of this semifinal.
And if you want to go anywhere on William, it's at his body, right? You don't want to get him extended. He gets a lot of stuff back from awkward positions, but it comes back.
Good speed up there from Lane, going right into the right armpit of Cullen. Lane and Broderick with the wind right now, and they're taking opportunities to get that ball on Sobek and Cullen quick.
.401, the score for Jaden Broderick's serve.
I think that ball was probably going out there off the paddle of Brandon Lane.
And a timeout called on the court. Sobek and Casey Cullen want a minute to regroup here after starting out trailing by 5 early here in this second semifinal. What have Broderick and Lane done early on to get this lead?
Well, they've come out and they've applied pressure. They're taking their chances of speeding the ball up, and they're hitting good spots. They're going right into the body of Sobek. They've got Cullen in that right armpit area, and like you pointed out, Dom, you've got 2 tall guys that can reach in, take balls out of the air, the ability to flick and speed up a ball.
So out of the timeout, what do you want to see Cullen and Sobek do to try and get some rhythm back on their side?
I'm pretty sure they did not play this slow in any of their matches. Casey Cullen's a guy who likes to speed up, likes to play with some havoc, and so does William Sobek. Right now, they're getting sucked into the slower game, and it's crazy to think that, right? This is where pickleball is crazy. You have 2 guys that are absolutely enormous on this side of the court. They play very soft. They play patient. You'd think they'd want to play big, hard, fast. They don't. They're sucking Sobek and Cullen into that game. I like to see them try and pick up some pace here.
Just as you say that, but
Broderick missed it out right there.
Exactly.
Just went a little too big.
5-0-2 for Lane serve.
But the thing with Broderick and Lane are that they are able to play that faster pace. They can drive the ball. They can put pressure on. But because they have such good reach, they can... Oh, that's a nice ball from Cullen. They're able to play that slower game, wait for the pop-up to then really reach in and that quick flick attack.
Cullen yelling across the net. Is that in? Because it just barely missed. It was so close.
Just barely missed.
Going all the way
over
out.
the back barrier right into the wind.
He was excited after the previous point.
They do get on the board here, 1-6-2. Cullen goes for the lob, and with ease, Broderick gets around inside the baseline on the other side.
Well, the wind holds it up, and Broderick almost dropped on his head because he thought it was going deeper. As he turns, it's sitting right there, and he just turns and rips this left-handed forehand.
The De La Rosa right there.
Yes.
He's there.
Oh,
He's not there, though. Nice
Casey
inside out
Cullen.
there from Cullen.
flipping the court. Oh, the no look.
Little wind gust picked up right there.
So it's a side out here. Lane's serve misses into the net.
You can hear it in the referee's
yeah.
microphone.
You can hear it on the court. Good leave there by Broderick.
And that's not a bad speed up there for Cullen going into the wind. He's just trying to do too much with it.
We saw that a bunch of times yesterday, mixed doubles from Brandon Lane. He gets nice and low, and he almost just punches that forehand forward.
Oh. Off the net into the body of Sobek.
To have the reach of a 6'9" person.
Well, that's typically what we see with like Andre Diascu, right? That's why he's so good up in the kitchen line. Brandon Lane this weekend playing very similar, using the reach.
On to their second serve.
Little tentative there on the drop from Broderick.
So a side out here. Cullen and Sobek with a chance to cut into this 6-point lead that Lane and Broderick have built up. But Lane and Broderick just keeping the pressure on defensively.
That's nice little inside-out backhand there from William Sobek as him and Casey Cullen switch sides in that point. And they're going to stay that way a little bit here and try and change things up. Put William on the left.
That time, caught in transition a little bit was Sobek. So it'll be a side out. Brandon Lane with the serve and a chance to extend this lead. Instead, forehand hard into the net. Second serve.
Go, go. Oh, wow.
Broderick almost gets that overhead flicked back in bounds, but sails a bit wide.
And that's a tough lob for Cullen, too, because the ball's close to the net. He's got to go straight up with that.
Big overhead winner there from Lane.
Yeah, I mean, again, just you're trying to lob into the wind, and you almost have to think about hitting it past the baseline and the wind knocking it down rather than your typical offensive lob.
Cullen going drive middle, drive sideline, but pulled Lane just enough into the middle where he goes off the edge on that second block.
Lane flicks that one, aiming for inside the baseline, just misses. So Cullen and Sobek on a little run here to cut this lead to just 3 points. But Lane and Broderick now with the ball back on their side.
Well, I don't mind that speed up there from Cullen either. He's not in a bad position to get that next one.
Well, I think he's just got to go a little bit more into the right armpit there of Lane.
Not let him get extended.
Cullen saying sorry. Got jammed up on that reset. Somehow got the ball back and stayed in. And Broderick pushed it out wide.
Just got too big right there. That ball's sitting right there for him. If he comes in, paddle in front, punches that through, that's an easy winner. You try and do too much with it.
Broderick almost has that, Ernie, but can't get the ball to land inbounds, so they only add 1 to their score line on that service side. Cullen and Sobek within 3 here in game number 1 of our men's doubles semifinal number 2.
Nice hands from Broderick right there.
Broderick just ready for everything.
Yeah, and somebody with how much reach he has, he is able to stay compact in and around the body. Oh, they fought over it. Sitter in the middle.
And that's exactly it, Chad. We talked about it during the first time out. We want them to get in a little more chaos right now and you cause those issues in the middle. Back within 2 now.
Way to sit and adjust there from Lane. Cullen trying to take that ball cross body, but Lane just slides with the hand.
Nope.
Oh, it's in. It's over. And smart move there from Cullen.
Cullen with the touch.
Yeah, that ball lands in, then kicks back over the net. It's the only time that you can reach over the net to make contact. And he hits it back toward the net.
Sobek just leaping everywhere.
He reset a ball face height. He had a face height at the kitchen kind of put away, but he resets it and gets back in the point.
So now Cullen and Sobek being more aggressive. They're setting their tempo. They're putting the pressure on Broderick and Lane, and they're not getting sucked into that slower pace that you were talking about earlier, Dom.
And it's a 7-2 run here for Cullen and Sobek in game number 1. Gives themselves a chance to tie things up here, but Lane gets big in the middle, finds the feet.
Well, Lane initiated it, so he started it right there. Instead of getting on their heels and getting attacked first, he attacked first.
Ball just died a little bit there on Cullen. Looks down at the court like, why'd you take such a bad bounce?
You got the offensive timeout. Haven't seen one of these all day, and you get it from Lane and Broderick here.
So a timeout called on the court gives us a chance to bring you up to speed on something cool you can get involved in if you are interested in creating a pickleball league in your community. Introducing APP UTR Pickleball Leagues. With no age minimum or maximum, and men's, women's, and mixed formats, there's a chance for everyone to compete and make it to the national championships in Fort Lauderdale, December 7th through the 10th. Interested players and venues can visit the app.global/pickleball leagues for more information.
So you get Broderick and Lane here kind of calming themselves down after they went and had a run against them. Discuss, talk, figure out game plan here. We still have a 1-point lead. We're 3 points away from taking this first game.
Jaden Broderick with the serve.
And fighting over that middle ball.
Lane going for the around the post, but can't put the right shape on it. So it's a side out. And an opportunity for Casey Cullen and William Sobek to tie things up here in game number 1. Lane's forehand too flat into the net. It's an 8-8 game.
That
time. Lane is not going to miss the around the post again.
Well, he let it develop just a little bit longer, and he went for a deeper part on the court. Goes right at the feet of Cullen. Tries to scoop it back up.
Second serve now for Cullen and Sobek.
Yeah!
Lane gets out of the way, but Sobek manages to drop that ball in bounds. Gives him and Cullen the lead. It is their first lead of this game number 1 in our men's semifinal.
Oh, another one is spun back over.
I mean, they have just picked up the tempo. It is attack, attack, attack.
It is a 9-1 run right now from William Sobek and Casey Cullen. They can take game 1 with this serve.
Drive just a little too high there from Cullen. Sobek trying to crash.
So a game point defended by Lane and Broderick. Have some work to do on their service side.
Oh, that ball just sailed. Little too much cut, little too much backspin there from Sobek. Just kept it up in the air, in the wind.
foot fault, left foot. No, you can't.
Foot fault called on Will Sobek on the court.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah.
Left foot was what was called.
Looked like it may have just dragged across the kitchen line as he made contact.
Yep.
Broderick great defensively around the post.
And then just gets pushed down by the wind there on the attempted drop to try to get back through transition.
10-10-2 for Lane's serve. Another one. Lane had to just watch that fall inside the baseline, so they have to give the ball back to Sobek and Cullen, but really important for them to get to that 10th point because you have to win by 2. So Cullen and Sobek have to get 2 in order to lock this game up. That one's sailing deep.
Again, it was nice and tight to the net. That lob's going straight up and got to come straight down. It's a tough spot for Cullen to hit that in.
An aggressive dink out wide there from Cullen. Broderick just a little late catching up to it.
Sets up a game point opportunity for Cullen and Sobek. And they get it done, trailing 7-1 at one point in this game. Cullen, Sobek come roaring back to take it 12-10 here in Cincinnati. Game 2 of our men's doubles semifinal when we return to the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati on ESPN+.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
Introducing Persona IQ, the smart knee. Address your knee pain with a replacement that contains sensors which capture helpful information such as your range of motion, stride length, walking speed, and step count to ensure your new knee is performing at its best. It keeps you connected to your healthcare team so you can receive important reminders and personalized recovery guidance. It's not a GPS. It doesn't collect where you've been or where you're going. Persona IQ, a smarter way to regain mobility.
The APP is sponsored by AARP, helping your health and happiness live as long as you do. Franklin and Vlasic Pickles, official pickle of the APP Tour. The Zimmer Biomet recovery moment of the match goes to Cullen and Sobek, trailed 7-1 and then went on an 11-3 run to finish it off and take game 1 of this men's semifinals in pro doubles here at the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati. Game 2 happening now. About to get underway at the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati. Stop number 5 of the APP Tour in 2024. Jaden Broderick going to get us started with the serve.
Good spot there from Sobek. Elevating it right at the left armpit of Broderick. Broderick giving him one back with a little help from the net cord as well.
Stop play!
Play stopping on the court as things come flying in to the field of play.
Well, we lost we've got a windscreen flying up there. We've got a whole bunch of stuff.
The wind gusting here in Cincinnati. You can see from the flag to the tents. It is something these players have had to contend with all weekend long, but especially today. It has picked up, it has gusted, and impacted the way these players have had to adjust. Sobek goes for the around the post. Broderick hits it. Were you wondering if it was going?
Oh no, that ball was going to be in.
Okay,
for sure.
It was gonna blow back in.
Yeah.
So it's 1-0-2. Cullen with the serve. Great placement by Sobek after Broderick's return to find an empty spot on the court.
Well, the patience pays off for Broderick and Lane. Oh, wow.
Pretty sure that had an opportunity to drop back in, though, with how hard that wind is blowing.
You can see it on the rain flag. This is a massive part of play here in our second men's semifinal.
Nice step over there from Sobek.
Sobek said, you know what, I'm going to take the wind out of it. I'm just going to go really fast, really low, right at your feet. Broderick's forehand into the net. So they get one back, do Broderick and Lane, but now it's Cullen and Sobek with a chance to take the lead back.
Just caught a little too much there from Sobek. Good defense by Sobek and Cullen, though, just to stay in that point.
Yeah, I like that spot right there from Lane. He went twice to the middle, then pulled the ball hard to the backhand side, mixing up his spots.
Broderick trying to shape that around the post. Can't put enough on it.
Well, with the wind blowing across like that, too, he almost overruns it. Need to be a little bit more extended away from the ball there if he's going to try to shape it back in.
Good leave there by Sobek. Casey Cullen with the ball. Chance to take the lead early on here in game 2.
Good ball movement there from Lane, going corner to corner on the kitchen, and gets that ball popped up just enough from Cullen that he can be aggressive into the body.
There's the chaos. Bring it early, and William Sobek and Casey Cullen are going to clean it up. Great job by William Sobek coming in and attacking that third.
Good step over and reach in there from Sobek. We talked about it, Dom. If you give Sobek the ability to get extended, he's dangerous. If you can tie him up into the body, much more difficult for him to do anything with.
Nice 1-2 combo right there from Lane as he goes down the line into the middle. Cullen just a little late getting that backhand.
So it's Brandon Lane with the serve, 1-3-1. Sobek stepping in, takes control of the point. 1-2 punch to force them onto their second serve.
Yeah, nice step in there and good timing from Sobek. Waited for the right moment to step in and insert himself. But a good job from Casey Cullen, too, of keeping him in that point. Moving that ball in and out and allowing Sobek an opportunity.
Good leave there from Lane. Cullen pulling that one just wide off of the drive from Broderick. Again, elevating that one just enough that Cullen catching it a little late.
Cullen going for the drop. Sobek trying the slicing backhand. Too much into the net, and it's a tie game here in game number 2 where points have been hard fought early on.
Yeah, William trying to put a little too much cut on that last ball. I know he wants to put pressure on Lane because he ran back to receive that lob.
And a timeout called on the court by Cullen and Sobek. It's pretty early, but with the way that those last few points have developed, what do you make of this timeout call?
Well, I mean, it just kind of, when we talk about a timeout, it's a 2-3. If you get to a 4-point run, it's almost a little too late. You know, just resetting, not in any real trouble right now, but just trying to cut this run a little short.
It is a 2-point run here for Lane and Broderick. Cullen and Sobek have had the lead for this entire game. First time that Broderick and Lane have been able to find a tie. This wind is really picking up here in Cincinnati. Three, 3-2, the score for Broderick's serve.
Lane getting fired up right there for his partner. Good job by Cullen. I thought he almost being able to step back to neutral there, but Broderick goes right into the midsection of Cullen.
Oh, almost looked like Sobek was like, I'm pulling the trigger on this. Then he stopped, dropped the paddle head, and then mishit it.
So it's a 2-point lead here for Lane and Broderick in game number 2 of our men's pro doubles semifinal. Lane leaving that dink a little bit short, so a side out, but not before Broderick and Lane do some damage. 4 points on that service side.
Nice deep return there. Sobek just trying to cut it a little too much on that drop.
Big forehand from Cullen down the middle for the point.
Yeah, it was the inside out right here that sets it up. Lane sitting a little too much forehand. Just has to flick at that backhand.
4-5-2 for Sobek's serve. Ball sailing deep, and it's a tie game here in game number 2. Cullen, Sobek with a chance to take the lead. Lane trying to call Broderick off, but his partner gets a paddle on it. Forces a mishit from Cullen.
Yeah, Cullen trying to work his way across the kitchen line there, just rapid fire. Once he got to Broderick, there's too much space open behind him.
That ball never came up for Sobek right there. It just stayed down. But that all initiated by a really nice forehand lob from Brandon Lane.
Lane pushing that one wide. So they're on to their second serve. Six, 5-2 for Broderick.
Nice pull in the middle there from Casey Cullen. Off the bounce, backing up just a little bit, but keeps it nice and low in the middle.
Sobek, the aggressor in that point, but Lane was ready for it.
Yeah, nice counter there from Lane. Stays short and compact, gets on top of it, gets it back down. We talk about that all the time, of staying short, using the power coming from your opponent's speed up.
Lane with the big forehand finds the
Talk about
feet
his forehead
of
like
Casey
that.
Cullen.
Maybe he's self-conscious about it.
Oy vey. Side out. Broderick with the serve. Oh, William Sobek, get up. Jumping forehand.
But again, the angle, right? Goes out towards the sideline. Nothing Broderick can do here on this one.
Ooh. I would challenge that if I was Lane and Broderick.
I mean, why not?
Wow.
So the ball called out. No challenge on the court. Instead, it's Cullen and Sobek with a chance to tie things up.
Nice lob from Cullen right there. Lane not expecting it, up over the top beautifully. We've seen so many effective lobs this weekend. Wow, how did that stay in?
Just barely kissing the
Edge guard power.
sideline.
If he catches any more of the paddle, that ball goes wide.
Oh, that is close. It's a 7-6 lead here for Casey Cullen and Will Sobek in game number 2. They took game 1 12-10. Would love nothing more than to punch their ticket to the gold medal match by winning this game. Broderick ready for the speed up from Sobek.
Well, good read from Broderick, right? He's sitting on that, waiting for the speed up, like you said, AJ. And again, he's expecting the pace. If he doesn't get the pace, he can adjust.
7-6-2 for Sobek's serve.
Good aggressive dink there from Broderick.
I'm going to say ambitious at best.
He didn't quite catch up to that there at all.
So it's a side out. Jaden Broderick with the serve and a chance to tie things up. Broderick just flipping that one a little too wide. Here it is again. What happened on that hit?
Oh, Broderick was just a little too extended on it. Lost his patience there for a second.
Oh, and again, communication in the middle. Both of them going for it. Ball goes wide.
7-6-1. The score for Cullen's serve. Sobek comes all the way over, jumping forehand, misses the kitchen, gets the point.
Sobek's done a good job of getting big in the middle, reads that ball perfectly, reads the paddle of Broderick to anticipate the ball going cross court.
Cullen's so animated. He gets everything back except one. He's so upset with himself.
Second serve here for William Sobek. Lane pushing that cross-court dink just a little bit too wide. So it's now a 9-6 lead for Cullen and Sobek.
Oh, Sobek being aggressive, attacking his attempted drop, trying to come up and put pressure on, but then gets just a little off balance.
And another offensive timeout called here on the court. Broderick and Lane get the ball back on their side, trailing by 3. They want to talk some strategy. What is the conversation, Chad, in this huddle to figure out how to get back into this game?
Well, I think right now Broderick and Lane have to kind of be a little bit more aggressive. Sobek and Cullen aren't staying as patient as it was early on in game 1. So they're taking their opportunities to be the attackers on Broderick and Lane, and they're getting stuck back on their heels a little bit. So I'd like to see Broderick and Lane kind of pick up the tempo on their side, put a little bit more pressure on Cullen and Sobek, but also go back to that 6-5 point where it was close to the baseline. And they didn't challenge it on the out call. Potentially it could have been 7-5 there. I mean, they seem to lose some of that momentum that they had coming back at that point.
And they both questioned it. They were like, ooh, that's close. You sure?
Yeah.
Well, if that's, you know, you're pretty adamant about it, you think it's in, you have those challenges, use them.
Nice drop there and a good step up from Lane.
As much needed out of the timeout there for Broderick and Lane.
7-9-1 for Broderick's serve. Trying to flip that one up and over, but hits the net cord.
And that's the ball right there for Lane. Take it crossbody on Cullen, but just standing up a little too tall. Didn't use the legs, didn't get underneath that ball.
Sobek too good at shifting. When he sees that speed up, opens up that forehand, he's ready for the Broderick speed up.
Nine 7-1 for Casey Cullen.
Oh, he touched it.
The around the post, and Lane about to throw the offending paddle that touched that ball to give his opponent the point.
Yeah, that ball wasn't going to make it back into the court. It was going to land short.
So it sets up a match point opportunity here for Casey Cullen and Will Sobek. Brandon Lane, get up for that one. Cross court, paints the sideline.
Way up for that one.
Oh. That looks very close on the replay. Sobek and Cullen, though, play on. Push to their second serve and another match point opportunity. Patience in that point, but finally Lane initiates the speed up and gets the ball back on their side. Another match point defended. You could hear a pin drop in this stadium during that exchange.
Oh, I think Lane needs to continue the attack there. Tries to reset it cross court while his feet are still moving. Just flicks the wrist.
Second serve here for Jaden Broderick.
Another timeout. I think
Another timeout on the court here.
Lane has something in his eye, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely wiping at that left eye with his towel. Critical moment here for Broderick and Lane. They're on their second serve, trailing by 3, and more importantly, trailing by 3 with another match point opportunity for Cullen and Sobek if they get the ball back on their side.
Yeah,
So
you have to close the gap here. You have to get on the board. You can't put the ball back in their hands. No points scored, no pressure put on. You have to at least inch back closer and put pressure on them to have to end it.
So the winner of this one advances to the gold medal match, taking on Rob Nunnery and Ryler DeHart tomorrow for Championship Sunday in Cincinnati in men's pro doubles. Broderick and Lane with their backs against the wall here on championship court. No timeouts left for Broderick and Lane. 1 left for Cullen and Sobek. Jaden Broderick with the second serve.
It's a tough ball to try to speed up right there. So close to the net. Sobek has to hit up on it way too much for that speed up.
Punches it deep.
Oh, and Broderick wasn't expecting the speed up from his partner. He was expecting a dink right there, and that's the issue you have when you're expecting dink.
And so it's another match point opportunity here. William Sobek and Casey Cullen look to close things out. But Lane and Broderick holding that kitchen line steady.
And nice finishing punch there from Lane. Creates an angle and keeps that ball down. Oh, blew back in.
That ball off Lane's paddle was
like it was
8-9 feet out, and it landed 5 feet in.
And instead, it is another match point defended for Broderick and Lane. They have just been clinging to this game, refusing to give it up to Cullen and Sobek, and now some chances of their own.
I mean, is Brandon Lane the master of fighting off match points, or what?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
From
We'll
yesterday?
see.
So far, he's doing a pretty good job, and now a timeout called on the court by Cullen and Sobek. And obviously, every point in pickleball you want to win, but for this point, this 9-10 moment in particular in a game, it's so crucial for both teams, because if you're in the lead, you got to defend this, because if they get to 10, it goes into win by 2.
Well, and
if you're Broderick,
and it's on first server.
Exactly. If you're Broderick and Lane, you have a chance to tie it up, and it gives you just a little bit of breathing room if you end up having to give the ball back. Let's take another look at that last exchange.
That
Brandon
ball,
Lane getting some help.
unreal. Wind picks up right at the right moment, knocks that ball down.
Just the sharpest angle.
I mean, that ball should have been
Dropped off the table.
Yeah.
Went straight down.
All of a sudden, there was a weight in it or something.
But you're right, AJ. Tying this up is huge at the very minimum. Then it takes away the match point if you lose serve.
You just give yourself that critical, slightest amount of breathing room. Nobody knows that better than both of these teams. Broderick and Lane with the serve and a chance to tie things up.
Oh, that did not come up nicely for Lane. Good pressure from Sobek. And this is the point right here.
Brandon Lane with the second serve. Brandon Lane sees the opening, takes advantage down the middle, the critical 10th point.
Wow, that bottle coming in was about 5 seconds too late, blowing in for Sobek and Cullen right there.
And so now Lane and Broderick with a chance to take their first lead since they led 6-5 here in this second game.
Too big of a swing there from Cullen.
And they do.
He knew that Lane was going to drive it from the shorter return.
11-10-2. Brandon Lane with the match point opportunity for himself and Jaden Broderick. Game point opportunity. Got too excited.
Oh, Lane held up. He was going to attack, and then the whole body slowed down. He thought about just bumping it back over.
So it's a side out Sobek with the serve. Big moment there. Sobek picking his spot, executing well, ties us up 11-all.
For not being 6 foot tall, he plays big in the middle, as William Sobek.
Oh, that's two there from Broderick. Broderick's been on both of them, but they've gotten just a little deep, a little too close to the body, so they're coming out flat.
So now it is a match point opportunity yet again for Sobek and Cullen.
Whoa.
William Sobek and Casey Cullen fight for every single point, and it is well worth it because they are heading to Championship Sunday in men's pro doubles here in Cincinnati. We'll be right back on ESPN Plus.
Hey, I'm Chef Chad Rosenthal, and I'm here today with Vlasic Pickles to put the pickle in pickleball. In pickleball, a dill ball is a shot that is inbounds and is bounced only once. It's a live ball. This Vlasic Pickle Dip is a live ball of pickle flavor. Crunchy pickle perfection.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped. Suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
APP is sponsored by PowerPlate, official warm-up and recovery partner of the APP Tour. Zimmer Biomet, moving you forward. And Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers.
We'll take a look at some highlights from this win by Casey Cullen and William Sobek. Down 7-1 in game one. Made an 11-3 run to take that one, and then dominant in game number two. First gold medal match for Sobek since New York City last year. We'll throw it down to Dominic Catalano with our Franklin post-match interview.
All right, Casey, first and foremost, congratulations, boys. Moving on to Championship Sunday. Well, let's go back to game one, Case. You guys are down. You go down 5-0, you call a timeout. Come out, they're up 7-1. What's the discussion between you and William before you go on an 11-2 run to end it?
I think we needed to be more patient. I was pulling the trigger way too quick. We played really well all day. We just started slow. I think once we got the ball in and we played longer points, we were like, we can do this, we can come back. So just that patience and believing in William and that side switch, putting him on the left where he was just all day and grinding out points.
And that was a huge adjustment. You guys made that in-game adjustment, William. What was that discussion like, and why did you guys do that?
Well, I mean, Casey was doing so well in the left, but still a little bit more patience was needed. Maybe we need to grind it out the points a little bit. And I thought, hey, maybe we could try maybe one or two, me on the left, see how it goes. And then we end up coming back a little bit, and then more and more and more. And then we finally kind of tighten it up near the end, and then somehow pull it off, right? It's another comeback. It's annoying, but I guess it works on my end for some reason.
Well, it works. It puts you guys in Championship Sunday. William, your second Championship Sunday, your first since New York last year. Casey, your first. Congratulations, boys.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a quick break. Next up, women's semifinal here on Championship Court, the APP Vlasic Classic, Cincinnati.